Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a new episode of Explore and Engage with Anam. A question has come up, and people are wondering if Donald J. Trump will serve as the U.S. president for a third term. Will Donald J. Trump serve as the U.S. president for a third term? Now, we know that a person can be elected to the office of the president 2 times. That's common knowledge. Many former presidents have served for 2 terms. In recent decades, the examples would be President Barack Obama, President George Bush, and President Bill Clinton. And now President Donald J. Trump is serving in his 2nd term in office. However, President Trump's case is quite different, because he is serving in his 2nd non-consecutive term. Barack Obama served in office for 2 terms, one immediately after the other. Prior to President Obama, George Bush also served for 2 terms, one after the other, immediately after the other. And before that, President Bill Clinton, the same. President Trump served for 1 term, and then Joe Biden, Democrat, he served as the U.S. president for 1 term. And then Donald J. Trump got elected again. So President Trump's 2nd term in office, it's a non-consecutive term. He served for 1 term, and then for 4 years it was Joe Biden, and then President Trump came back again. And now people are wondering if Donald J. Trump can serve for a 3rd term. Before we discuss this further, my friends, I want to say a few things. President Trump is tremendously popular, more popular than any other president in recent history. Perhaps we can go back decades and still find that there's no other president as popular as Donald J. Trump. Of course, many might say that Ronald Reagan is the most popular. People still talk about Ronald Reagan all the time. But one must also take into account that no president has faced the challenges, the intense challenges that Donald J. Trump has faced. Donald J. Trump, he's a brave man. He was forced to endure a courtroom trial after serving 1 term as the U.S. president. This man had to endure the pain of getting a mugshot taken. Donald J. Trump, he's a man who faced a life and death situation in Pennsylvania last year as he was campaigning. And he survived, and he became stronger than ever before. And the list of challenges and obstacles and barriers and enemies that he faced is very long. And so even after going through all that, Donald J. Trump got elected again. He got the popular votes in addition to the Electoral College votes. And now Donald J. Trump is serving as the U.S. president for a 2nd term, a 2nd non-consecutive term. And so if you take all that into account, he truly is the greatest president in recent decades, and perhaps the greatest American president of all time. Donald Trump has defeated many problems, many challenges, and he continues to serve the people of the United States of America with great patriotism and lots of energy. He is working really hard for the people of this country. Donald Trump is the greatest and the most popular president and most loved by the people of the United States of America. Unparalleled popularity, exceptional popularity. There's no one like him. And his popularity is so unique that the American people want Donald Trump to serve as the president for more than 2 terms. This question has come up really because of popular demand. People want Trump in office for more than 2 terms. People need Trump in office for more than 2 terms. And that's why this question has come up. Will Donald J. Trump serve as the U.S. president for a 3rd term? Is it possible? My friends, people want this. People need this. People need Donald J. Trump in office for more than 2 terms for a glorious future of our country. And President Trump has said that a lot of people want him to do it, meaning a lot of people want Donald Trump to serve as the U.S. president for a 3rd term. Of course, we know that President Trump is focused on the current term, which he himself expressed. He said that he's focused on the current term. There's a lot of work to do. But time goes by fast, and we have to keep our eyes on the future as well. What are the possibilities? What are the options? What is the road ahead? There are lots of questions right now in the minds of the American people. On one hand, we are seeing the success of the Trump administration, and on the other hand, there's a growing desire. There's a growing desire among the American citizens to see Donald Trump serve again beyond 2 terms. Yes, we are enjoying the success that we are seeing right now. But we want to continue to enjoy this success. We want to see our country become stronger than ever before and continue to be stronger and stronger and stronger. My friends, people think of January of 2029 and they say, we don't want that to be the conclusion of the Trump administration. We want President Trump to continue. We want to see him continue to serve as the president. We want to see him continue to be in charge in the Oval Office. We want to see him continue to make America greater than ever before. So the intense desire that people have, the desire to see Donald Trump serve for a 3rd term, that desire is the driving force behind this question. Will Donald J. Trump serve as the U.S. president for a 3rd term? Now, I am not a lawyer. I am not a constitutional scholar. But I can tell you that the answer to that question doesn't seem to be a clear-cut yes or no. I think it requires further analysis to truly determine if Donald Trump can serve as the U.S. president for a 3rd term. I know there are people out there who are probably saying, oh, that's not possible. The law doesn't allow that. The Constitution doesn't allow that. No, it's just 2 terms and that's it. But it's not a clear-cut no, I'm telling you. I'm not saying it's a definite yes, but it's not a clear-cut no. There needs to be further analysis. Constitutional scholars and political leaders will have to thoroughly think about this. Is there a possibility, is there a way for a U.S. president to serve for a 3rd term? Because in President Trump's case, he's serving in his 2nd term now, but it's a 2nd non-consecutive term. So can he serve for a 3rd term? Those who are saying, no, he can't, well, think again. Think again. I think this is something that would require tremendous analysis and study. And I'm not a lawyer. I'm not giving you an answer, but I'm saying it's not a clear-cut no. And I'm not saying it's a yes. I'm saying that this would require further attention, further study, further analysis. My friends, here's what President Trump said. He said, and this is his quote, he said, "There are methods which you could do it." Some are saying that there could be one method. Okay, so President Trump's quote is, "There are methods which you could do it." That's his quote. Some are saying that there could be one method, that is, for J.D. Vance to run for president and to win, and then to hand over power to Donald J. Trump. My friends, remember this news from a couple of months ago. Congressman Randy Ogles introduced a resolution to allow an American president to serve for 3 terms, but not more than 2 consecutive terms. President Trump has lots of supporters, and so let's wait and see what happens. But, as I said, there's tremendous desire. When you talk to a lot of freedom-loving Americans, you'll find out that they have a tremendous desire to see Donald J. Trump serve for more than 2 terms. And as I said, that desire is the driving force behind this question. Will Donald J. Trump serve as the American president for a 3rd term? Let's wait and see, my friends, what happens. But as days go by, support for President Trump continues to increase. And I think support for Donald Trump will continue to increase as we move into the future. More and more people will demand that Donald Trump serve for a 3rd term. So share with me your thoughts, my friends. I want to hear what you have to say. Share with me your thoughts, your opinions, your viewpoints. If you are a constitutional scholar, if you are a lawyer, if you have a lot of knowledge, a lot of legal knowledge about these issues, share with me your viewpoints, okay? I want to hear from you. So you can go to my website, tausifanam.net, and once you're on my website, you can send me a message. And if you want to send me an email, you can do so. My email address is tausif@tausifanam.net. You can also connect with me on social media. You will find me on Facebook, on Instagram, on X, and also on Truth Social. So connect with me, share with me your thoughts. Thank you once again for continuing to listen to my podcast, and I hope to be back again soon with a new episode of Explore and Engage with Anam.